Today's Monday, it's the 13th of October, it's 2025, and I've just come down to Sant Elmo, and I'm not quite sure about the weather or what it's going to do. I did actually look at the weather forecast before I left, and it said no rain, and so I've driven down here, just got into the car park, and luckily found a space, and it started to pour down, so I sat in the car for a few minutes. And it's just gone off, and there is maybe a little bit of blue sky up there, but it's not very much. It's pretty much a grey day, so well, not raining at the moment, and the water is amazingly clear here. See the bottom. Just walk around here, just outside the hotel. It's on the beach. Last time we were here, I think quite a while ago now, we went to see, saw Lynn and Tony. They came over from Geneva, Switzerland. We had a lovely morning with them, and I don't think we've been back since that. So 2 little beaches here in Sant Elmo, and even with the inclement weather, children playing in the sand and in the water. So what a nice little beach here. Temperature's actually not going to be too bad. They should be up around 23, 24 degrees, so they're quite pleasant. But, worker here just cleaning off the sunbeds because they're all a bit wet because of the rain that's just come down. There, I'll have a little walk around, and hopefully the blue bits will get a bit bigger and the grey bits will disappear. I've got my umbrella with me, just in case. And just as I was sitting in the car, waiting to come down, some more very sad news. Ray sent me a message to say that Lorna had passed away. Lorna, another subscriber to our channel who loved watching the videos, and Ray said they used to sit in the evening talking about the videos and plan their visits, and on a couple of occasions we've seen them here in Mallorca and exchanged lots of messages over the years, and really sad to hear that she's passed away, and just be wishing Ray lots of love and lots of strength to carry him through the difficult times ahead. Get a message like that, and really, I find it so hard to know what to say. It's really heart-rending. I'm going to carry on my walk. It is a beautiful spot. I think even on a dull day it's a beautiful spot, but it's much nicer when it's sunny. We've had a lot of rain over the last few days, and there's a torrent here which has washed some of the sand away. Not a tremendous amount. Other parts of the island, certainly Ibiza, have had quite severe flooding. I've seen pictures of cars being washed away. Looking pretty calm. There's a lady out swimming over there. Just going towards the main street now. Sent Anita a message and said it was raining, and she said go and have a coffee. Sounds like a good idea. I'll go to walk first while it's dry. Might not get the chance later. I did see on the weather forecast that the rain was going to be coming later on, but I was hoping that I would miss it. It was only a short shower.
Freiwillige Sache.
The restaurant up here, the bar up here, decorates its tables with fruit. I guess whatever's in their garden, whatever's in season. And quite a few people have been listening to Anita and gone into the cafes and bars to get a coffee. Cyclists, well, they're not put off by a few spots of rain. They all go off. Always worries me when we get a little bit of rain like this. The surface just becomes quite slippy. And this one feels as though it is. Move over here. Different sort of, maybe a little bit better. Have a look at the sea from different angles. Taking a few photographs as usual. We're right down in the southwest corner of the island. There's another swimmer out there. It may be dull, but it's still pleasant. Just over there we've got the island of Dragonera. Carry on round. Usually parking's a bit of an issue in the season. I'm getting out of the season now, so less cars here, and the one where you have to pay, hardly any cars in there today, at least this time, maybe a little bit later on, and it's obviously a bit weather dependent. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, shops are open. Anita likes walking along here, and Eduardo sent me a couple of messages, sent me an email this morning. Where's Anita? Well, she's due back. She'll be back by Thursday. She arrives in late on Wednesday night, so she should be back by Thursday. But, she had an extended holiday, so we went over for Charlie's 18th birthday party, and I came back with Adam, and Anita stayed on, and that was really because Luna and Savannah were having a birthday party, and Leon and Serena and I had to come back because I'd got various appointments that I needed to keep here, so I couldn't stay on any longer. So Anita really has had a very extended trip to the UK this year, much more than usual actually. So even plenty of parking up there, look. I do like these little breaks where you can walk down. Many of them have got a bench at the bottom, you can just sit and enjoy the spectacular view that's out there. Everyone slightly different. It does look calm, but just listening to the waves there are still some waves down at the bottom. Closed Monday, it said. I went to the big fair in Majorca yesterday, and so that's the video I put up this morning. And it is a big fair, lots of things going on. But again, the weather. So I went fairly early in the morning. Parking was really tricky. But anyway, found a spot and had to walk in. And I managed to see what I wanted to see, and I saw Adam and his family, went to see them. And I saw the clouds coming in, getting darker and darker, so I thought, oh, I better make for the car. So ended up being a little bit of a dash towards the end because I could see it getting darker and darker, and pretty much as soon as I got into the car and just drove out of the town, the rain came down, and boy, it was heavy. It's one where the windscreen wipers go on to double speed. Anyway, by the time I got home, it had gone. And Majorca is from home, is the other side of the airport, so I had to drive past the airport. And there it was actually pouring down. I was amazed to see an aeroplane taking off. I wouldn't like to have been in an aeroplane that was landing. Taking off, I suppose. You're going to crawl out of it, but fly out of it. But landing, you're going straight into it. Anyway, just reading the reports in the paper that here in Ibiza have had particular problems. I would guess in Mallorca too, with flights, quite a few delays. Although a friend yesterday, of course, was the start of the entry-exit system, and Andy, a friend, was passing through there yesterday and said it was like a breeze, but they haven't actually implemented it yet, so I still, at the moment, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue in the winter time, because there's going to be lots of the machines to register. What I was a bit curious about when I've been listening to the reports on the TV, we all should have known now about the fact that they're going to take your photograph and they're going to take your fingerprints on your first entry. That gets logged for 3 years, so in subsequent visits you just have your photograph taken and it can identify you. But what came as a bit of a surprise was that there's various descriptions, a form to fill in, and then another one said a short form to fill in, little questions and answers. So I was very curious to find out what those questions were about. There isn't anywhere that actually tells me, so I'd be really happy if someone could actually tell me exactly what the questions are. But basically they're going to ask you where you're staying, have you got a return ticket. There's a question about travel insurance, I think, though that's not compulsory, so I really can't see what it's got to do with them. But you do need to have a plan to get off the island. If you're coming to Mallorca, you need a plan. You need to have some way of proving that you are going to be leaving at some point, and that basically is your return ticket. So that's not an issue. Funds is a bit of an issue. Apparently different different countries have different rules about how much you need, and I think if you're going to some Eastern European Union country, you need about 15 or 16 euros. But if you're coming to Spain, they say you need quite a lot of money. In fact, the figure I've seen banded around is around about 1,000 euros you've got to have available to you. Now, that can be on a credit card or in a bank account or in cash, I suppose. But you could be asked, theoretically, to prove that. And then what about where you're going to stay? Well, that's your hotel reservation, your apartment, or if you actually own a property here, then it's the address of your property, and I suppose some sort of a proof that you own a property here. And then I'm getting to wonder about people like Angela who are coming to stay with us next month. They should have a letter of invitation, or at least the address of where they're going to be staying. So I'll be sending that to Angela, just so that she's got it on her phone, and it's a little bit of peace of mind for her when she arrives at immigration. And I think the other thing about customs is that we noticed when we went into England that they were actually stopping people at customs, and which it's not happened for 20 years or more. Never really had that since Spain and UK were actually in the European Union, but now they're not, so customs exists. And yeah, we saw someone having their bags searched in Gatwick. I haven't yet to see anything like that in Palma, though there is a customs hall, and there is a to declare and not declare, and I guess you could be pulled over, but I've never seen that yet. So I don't know if anyone of you have got any experience of customs in Palma. Right, well, I'm not going to walk any further. It is a very pretty village, but it is on the edge of the island. That's Dragonera, and you can get a boat to Dragonera, which leaves just bottom here and takes you to the island. We took the girls here a year or so ago, 2 years ago, I can't remember. And you get off and you can walk around the island. It's uninhabited by people. There are some rangers there, people who work on the island just to keep it in good condition. And it's called Dragonera, the dragon, a bit like an alligator, I think, if you look. That's the head of the alligator, and the tail goes down there. It's referred to as Dragonera. And actually quite high there. If you wanted to climb up there, that is quite a climb. At the very end there, I don't know if that's a lighthouse. There's a dome of some sort. Maybe it is a lighthouse. It makes sense to have a lighthouse at each end. I have actually been around Dragonera in a canoe. Every year they have it's a race. It's not really a race. I guess when people do treat it as a race, but it's from Sant Elmo beach. They come out here and go between here and the smaller island there, and then they go down between here and Dragonera, going right down to the end of Dragonera, which you can't see from this position, and then up the far side, and then back round this. It's a long, long way, and if you're like me, not used to that sort of thing, it's really hard work. Fortunately, I was in a two-man kayak with a former student, Rob, and Rob did a great job pulling us around, and I assisted where I could. There are lots of boats following the people in the kayaks and canoes, and just making sure that everyone's safe. A great experience, glad I've done it, and I don't think I'll be doing it again. The restaurants here are just getting ready, and they're all sheltered, so if the weather is a bit inclement, they can bring down the walls, bring down the protection, and everyone can enjoy their lunch. Does feel quite warm and humid now, and slippy. I had a message from Chris. He's actually on the plane on his way to Mallorca. Hope he has a safe flight and arrives, gets some good weather while he's here. And asking me over the last week or two about the weather. Well, it's certainly warm enough. We just need the breaks in the clouds to extend a little bit more. It's starting to brighten up a little bit. Let's see. Sorry, we don't negotiate prices. Price is the price. I think, yeah, some people come here and think you can negotiate in a shop. You don't go into Tesco and negotiate the price, do you? Read another post on somewhere. Just people saying how expensive Mallorca is, and yep, you're absolutely right. But they seem to be blaming it on the government, and I'm not sure it's the government's fault. Well, I guess in some ways they are to blame, but it's just one of those facts of life that Mallorca has become a very expensive place to live. And where it used to be quite reasonable, and I would have said for years and years it was cheaper to live here than it is to live in the UK, at least where we're from in the UK. And but I don't think that's any longer true, particularly if you need to buy or rent a property, because that's the big expense that everyone has. And I read a really sad story about some people who've been living here for 30 years, Spanish people, now retired, and got a pension. 2,000 euros was mentioned as their pension, which you'd think would be quite reasonable to live on, and in most of Spain I guess it is, but not in Mallorca, where rent will eat up a huge chunk of that, and then general living costs on top. So they had to uproot, and they're going to live in Alicante, where it's much cheaper. Now we're back to the beach. The sands are not so golden here. So I don't know, I always think when they come, the sand looks a little bit dirty. It's just the colour of the sand. It's not dirty, just the colour of the sand. Well, I think I might be taking a little bit of advice from Anita now. Well, followed Anita's advice. Coffee. Looks delicious. Cheers, everyone. And a biscuit. Anita usually snatches these away from me, but I'm going to eat this one. Well, it's a nice little break. The temperature really is quite pleasant. It was 2:30 for a coffee there. I think that's very reasonable. And more people are getting down onto the beach now. And Chris has just told me he's landed, so we have a really nice holiday here in Mallorca. I think they're in Palmanova. It's really clear out on the sea. You can see the crisp horizon out there. And a gentle breeze, which is quite mild. I'm going to make my way to the car now. Usually when we're here it's a lot busier, and so we drive up that road, and generally if you drive far enough you'll end up finding somewhere to park. And, but today I was quite lucky. I managed to get into the car park. Tourist information kiosk there, and this is the paid car park, which I said before had no cars. There's a few people there now. It's not a lot of money. I think it's about €5 for the day. Yeah, there you go. There's a sign over there, €5. Well, the weather is definitely improving a little bit, so I'm going to go now and see where my next port of call is. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye for now.
Stone by stone the village sleeps, waves are whispering to the quay. Old men mend their nets in peace, while gulls drift lazy on the sea. Oh, San Telmo, soft and slow, the sun sinks down where the wild winds blow. Island shadows, silver light, you hold my heart this golden night. Footsteps fade along the shore, cafe laughter drifts through doors. Children chase the last of day, where the tide is washed the footprints away. Oh, San Telmo, soft and slow, the sun sinks down where the wild winds blow. Island shadows, silver light, you hold my heart this golden night. Across the bay, old Dragonera dreams, guarding secrets of the sea. Every stone and every tree feels like home to a soul like me. Oh, San Telmo, soft and slow, your stars above